Hi. Welcome to flowmind.org. My name is Jack. I am going to show you how you can draw and run your own workflow process in less than 5 minutes. Please note that the free version, which is available on the website, is a subset of the complete version. Now let me introduce two different applications that we use in this video. Note that there are no technical nor scary words, to make sure that anybody can use both applications. The first one is called FlowPoint. This application lets you draw your own workflow process as simply as possible. It has been designed to be used by a business expert. The second one is called FlowGate. This is a web example of a task list application. It has been designed to be available to a great number of business users. Let's start and show you how simple this is. Here is the FlowPoint screen that you will see after the welcome page. The first step is to create a new project, which will contain all the future processes you intend to draw. Now let's create a new process. In this example, we have decided to automate a purchase request process. Do you notice the documentation section? This documentation will become very useful later on for the business users as their online help. The third step is to create a new task. Let's call this first task, Request. Then we link the start of the process to the request task. The next step is to create a new role. As a matter of fact, the required role for the request task already exists. It is called Initiator. So we'll simply select it and link it to our task. Step number 5. Create new data. We define the fields that we need to perform this task. The first field is called Item to Purchase. We also need a description of the item. As the text might be more than a few words, we select text area for the type. Now we add a cost field for that item, in case the person who makes the request already knows that piece of information. We can also create a predefined list to choose from, like a category of item. You can refer to the corresponding tutorial later on. And finally, to indicate how urgent is our request, we capture the date we need this item by. Now that we have created all the data fields, we need to define the data flow for our task. Those fields will then appear on the form in the correct order. Okay, now you already know most of the FlowMind concepts. All we do is repeat those steps as many times as we want. Let's create an approval task. This time we decide to assign the approval task to a new role called Chief. As we want the Chief to approve or decline the purchase request, we create a new data field, which will be displayed as a checkbox. We decide that the Chief should also be able to add a comment as well. When we define the data flow for this approval, we uncheck some boxes, meaning that the Chief will not be able to modify those fields. We also add the two fields we've just created. To finalize our process design, we add another two tasks. Depending on whether the Chief approves or declines the purchase, the person who made the request will automatically be notified of the decision. The last thing we need to do is update those two links with the decision that was made by the Chief in the approval task. If we want, we can also give those links a name. Here we are. We have drawn our first process. To run this process, all we need to do is deploy the definition on the flowmind.org server. This action will automatically launch FlowGate in your default web browser. We can then start a new request, just by clicking on the Start New Process button. The request form appears, together with the 5 other fields that we defined earlier on. Can you also see the documentation that we added during the process definition? Once we have submitted our request, the next approval task appears, together with the form. In this video we are playing all the roles, so that we can run the whole process. We therefore decide to validate this request and even increase the requested budget. Finally, the last form appears, confirming that this particular purchase request has been approved. Well, congratulations! We wish you all the best in drawing and running your own processes with Flymind.org. By the way, did you notice the star that we added at the end of one field? If yes, try to guess the meaning of that star. Otherwise, you might want to watch this video again.